Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about Papakartari yoga. This is one of the important yogas, and especially if your ascendant is in Papakartari, then it can be quite intense experience. So, what is this yoga? How to deal? Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton. And today we are continuing with Vedic astrology tutorials. And this is a two-part series. Part one, I'm going to talk about Papakartari yoga. In part two, I'm going to talk about Shubhakartari yoga. So, what is Papakartari yoga? Papa means sins, or it can mean negative, malefic energies, and Kartari is like scissors. And yoga, of course, it means a combination. So, when Papakartari yoga is in the chart, it is actually that two malefic planets are hemming in the ascendant. So if Mars is one side of the ascendant and Saturn is the other side of the ascendant, they're squeezing the ascendant, squeezing energy out of the chart, and also keeping you stuck in certain ways. So this yoga is that is the classical definition of Papakartari yoga. Sometimes the people don't look at Rahu Ketu to be malefic on either side, and also Sun. So only that leaves only two malefics really, Saturn and Mars, if they are hemming in the chart. But in my experience, I've seen that any of the malefics, Rahu, Ketu, Sun, Mars, and Saturn, if they are hemming in either side. So, for example, if ascendant is in Leo, and Saturn is in Virgo and Mars is in Cancer, then Papakartari yoga is happening and the chart is being squeezed and you're not able to, act independently. That is the aspect. But it's also that these Papa Grahas, these difficult malefic planets, they control your life. Sometimes it can happen that people are controlling your life and you're not able to operate easily, or life becomes very stressful. Now, this yoga can be taken a bit further, and you can study the Papakartari from the moon, or if the sun is in Papakartari as well. So you can look at those three aspects as well. And I also like to look at other houses that get Papakartari. So if a house has, it's not the malefics in the house, it's either side of the house. So let's take fourth house. And if again Saturn is in the third house and Mars is in the fifth house, they are being squeezed, and you are not getting any happiness from the fourth house. So fourth house is home, happiness, relationship with mother. So you have to look at other factors where fourth lord is placed, where the Karaka moon is placed, all those other factors. But the squeezing in of the houses also is a difficult energy. So I personally will look at obviously the classic Papakartari, which means that malefics either side of the Lagna. Then I would look at malefics either side of the moon, and I would look at malefic either side of the house. So I am these three different types. So then also by transit, you can have a Papakartari yoga. And for Papakartari, as I said, that I would look at all the five malefic planets, Saturn, Mars, Sun, Rahu, Ketu, because in experience, I have noticed that it is a difficult energy. Now, very often you see that people in power have Papakartari yoga. So this is not about success or failure. And why do people in power, you'll see many presidents and prime ministers, but many people will have Papakartari yoga because they are in a powerful position, but the life is not controlled by them. If you see the president, his time is totally arranged by other people. There are other, advisors who are having the air and controlling the energy. So don't think that this Papakartari is not an it doesn't give opportunities and wealth, but it gives with struggle and also with compromise. Secondly, if you are going in a dasha of the planets and then you get the bhukti, so let's say you're in Mars dasha and Mars Saturn are creating a Papakartari. So Mars dasha Saturn bhukti or Saturn dasha Mars bhukti, that is when the extreme aspect of the Papakartari is on. However, I see that even if one planet that is creating the yoga, you are in the dasha of that planet, throughout that dasha, the Papakartari is activated because he's one of the two people. So you see that the Papakartari is activated. And then we can also see sometimes that planets are hemming in signs by transit. And and it's every year you'll find that there are certain timings when the planets are hemming in. So we don't have the full freedom to do what we want at that time. So if your lagna is being hemmed in or your moon is being hemmed in, then for that particular time, you do need to be careful. So this is transit Papakartari, and I will be telling you when signs are Papakartari as part of my monthly transit report. So you'll know that when are the times to be taking care. Now, what can you do with the Papakartari? Generally, we are always recognizing these obstacles and the planets that are creating the Papakartari for you. Then you are doing the remedies specifically to those planets. And I would say Lord Shiva would be a good deity. And also recognizing that sometimes, life is people are controlling you, and how can you get out of it? Then it needs some thinking and also some acceptance that you are naturally prone to having people either side of you, like Mars Saturn, or even I've seen Mars Rahu, or Saturn Rahu, whichever of the combinations you're getting, Sun Saturn. Now, one final thing about these Papakartaris is that you need to see if there's an intensity of Papakartari. So, for example, you have Saturn retrograde in the second house, and Mars is direct in the 12th house. So, what is happening is Mars is going forward, Saturn is moving backwards, so that intensity of the squeeze is a lot more. But however, if Mars is going retrograde in the 12th house and Saturn is retrograde, they are creating a Papakartari, but Mars, because he's moving backwards, he's not really squeezing onto the lagna. So that can give a little bit of relief. But generally, this is a challenging transit. So, it is something that you have to live with and work with it and learn how to deal with it successfully. So thank you very much. And I'll be making the opposite of Papakartari, the Shubhakartari yoga, and so that you can see both the yogas and how they affect. And Shubhakartari is a very positive yoga to have. Thanks very much. And do subscribe and press the bell notification, and also check out my website, komilla.com. Thank you.